calling all my footy fans from all around the globe. Straight out of NYC, this is The Line Breaker.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to The Line Breaker. I'm Pano.
I'm Dimitri, a.k.a. Juicy.
And we are back because it is Copa time. No, I'm just kidding. It's Euro time. We're back for the Euros. It's the Euro final now. The knockout stages have finished, and things have gone just about how I expected them. Maybe I wasn't expecting Spain, but I definitely was expecting football to be coming home. And I think it is going to come home. But we'll get to that later. England versus Spain, the final. Any opening thoughts?
English or Spanish?
What do you mean?
English or Spanish?
Like, just pick one?
Pick one.
Spanish.
First one to move is. The internet kids will understand that.
I do understand it, but I like to think that I'm not really with what the kids are doing these days. You know, I'm getting a little old.
You're a boomer, yeah.
I guess that's why I'm doing a podcast. Should I do it to you, English or Spanish?
What?
should I ask you English or Spanish?
I don't know what this guy's talking about, but moving on to the final. We got a big final. Spain, England. You know, Spain have, I think they won every match so far at these Euros. You know, not within 90 minutes. One game went into extra time, but they've won every match, not needing to go to penalties. The only match they did win that went into extra time was against the host nation, Germany. And then England have also had a very tough schedule, similar to Spain's, with the likes of Poland, Slovenia, Slovakia, Switzerland. You name it, they've played them.
They played the Netherlands.
The one decent opponent was in the semifinal, the last game they played.
The Netherlands is more than decent.
Yeah. I mean, Switzerland, I'll give them the decent shout too, but anything before that was a mess.
Well, speaking of a mess and terrible, I've been seeing these tweets on Twitter. Yeah, these tweets on Twitter. I've been seeing these tweets, people saying, oh, this England win is going to be as bad as the Greece win in 2004. And, you know, you saw me. I've been walling out on these guys. I mean, let me tell you, Greece Euro 2004. Yeah, by the way, Greece won Euro 2004. And you do not fluke what Greece did. Greece played Portugal twice and beat them twice. Yeah, because they played Portugal in the group stage in the opening match of the tournament because Portugal were the hosts. They beat them 2-1. They made Ronaldo cry. They torched them. It was direct footy, but they weren't just parking the bus. They tied Spain in the groups. They beat France. They beat the number one ranked team at the time, the Czech Republic. And they beat Portugal again. And they made Ronaldo cry again. Don't come at me with this bum, if England wins, is going to be as bad as Greece. No, do not put England in the same bracket as Greece. You know, I have England as my pick, but don't sit here and tell me that Greece were as bad of a watch as England, because they definitely were not. Greece played some good footy, but the media definitely kind of made it seem like they didn't. But, you know, I'm gonna stop going off. Regardless, there is going to be some good footy on show for this final, Spain versus England, and we can't talk about this final without talking about, I would say, the star of the group stages. You know who I'm talking about?
Who are you talking about?
Lamine Yamal.
Star of the group stages, star of the tournament so far.
Turning 17 the day before, right? That's what you're telling me? The day before the tournament? Before the final?
The day before the final, he turns 17.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He said 2007. I have 2007s at my club and 2016. That's crazy. Both of them. And while they're playing in EDP, he's playing in the Euro final.
And what a tournament he has had. So far, he's had 4 goal contributions, 3 assists, 1 goal, and his last goal helped propel Spain into the final against France, and what a screamer it was.
He's been electric. Yeah, that goal was phenomenal. But honestly, not even just him cutting in and shooting. His vision is phenomenal. I mean, I keep telling you, he reminds me of Riyad Mahrez, and that's with the utmost respect, because I think Riyad Mahrez is a baller. He's like Mahrez, but with more pace. He's silky on the ball. Mars is a great dribbler, and he was more of a passer, if anything, than anything else. Very good player, underrated player. He reminds me a lot of him. He glides on the ball. He's silky when he moves. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 100%. He moves so well. The ball sticks to his feet. He's got like long strides, and I think I don't know. I've kind of been like looking when he does the move, but he has like big feet too. So I feel like he just always has like control of the ball when he's dribbling, and it's like crazy to think that a 16-year-old can pull off these moves and just be so comfortable going at, experienced defenders for the most part that are basically men, not children.
He's basically been the star of the tournament. He's actually in the lead right now, or he's tied. He's tied for the most assists in the tournament so far with Xavi Simons, who obviously can't defend that. So right now, Lamine Yamal is in the driver's seat right now to at least get the most assists in the tournament. He's been phenomenal. 1 goal, 3 assists now, so he's got 4 goal involvements. We also, now that I'm looking at this, he obviously he's leading the assist charts. Spain. You know what? I'm going to save that while we start talking about the lineups while we start talking about the players. But I just want to close it out on Lamine Yamal. You think he's a shoo-in to win player of the tournament if they win?
Well, right now he is the favorite to win player of the tournament. That obviously goes hand in hand if they win. I think if they win, pretty much I think it's between him and Rodri. Although Dani Olmo has a good shout as well. Dani Olmo has been having a great tournament. He wasn't starting in the group stages, but due to the Pedri injury against Germany, Olmo has gotten the chance to start, and he has taken full advantage of it. He's been an absolute baller this tournament, and in general, the Spanish midfield has been excellent. Fabian Ruiz has had the tournament of his life, and Rodri, just the CDM holding everything together, and best CDM in the world, and he's proven it.
Dani Olmo's in a 6-way tie right now for the Golden Boot race. He's got 3 goals. So does George Mikhautadze from Georgia, who looks like he's going to be on his way to Monaco, by the way, according to reports. Ivan Schranz from Slovakia, Cody Gakpo from the Netherlands, Harry Kane from England, and Jamal Musiala from Germany. So it looks like Harry Kane and Dani Olmo right now, they're looking good for, potentially getting that Golden Boot. And then, as I said, we have Xavi Simons, Lamine Yamal tied for the assists with 3. And goals and assists, Dani Olmo's in front with 5. He's got 5. And then, let's see, Harry Kane has 3, Simons has 3. Oh, Fabian Ruiz has 4. And then we said Lamine Yamal also has 4. Goals and assists combination. So, some good company right there. Fabian Ruiz has been a phenomenal player this tournament too. I feel like players just go to PSG and they disappear. I didn't really know what he was doing this season at PSG, but he's been very good in the tournament. He was always a good player at Napoli. He's been very impressive in the midfield for Spain.
Yeah, Fabian Ruiz, like I said, he's been having the tournament of his life, and I think the midfield has meshed very well. It's very balanced, and the Spanish team is just very, very fluid with their attack.
I feel like we might as well get into Spain, like while we're talking about this. Like we might as well. When you look at the Spanish team, it's not filled with immediate superstars, right? Like you have guys like Nacho in the back, who, of course, very accomplished player, has won Champions Leagues, but he's never been the main guy. Never been the main guy with Real Madrid. He started the game against France. He played well. Aymeric Laporte, he's been chilling in Saudi. I know Navas isn't the starter right back. It's usually Carvajal. And then you have Marc Cucurella, who, has basically had a resurgent 2024. I mean, look, it's not such a total surprise, Marc Cucurella, because he had a strong 2 months at the end of the season for Chelsea. So, he's just kind of continuing his form. But right now, he's a shoo-in for definitely best left back in the tournament. He's been phenomenal. And then you have, obviously, Rodri's a superstar. Ruiz, is a little bit less high profile, but he's a good player. And then you got the kids. You got the kids on the wings, the demons. The little demons on the wings. Well, they're not really little. All right, they're both pretty big, but demons on the wings. Yamal and Nico Williams. You got Danny Olmo in the 10. And you got your boy Alvaro Morata.
Not my boy, but
It's your favorite
he's
striker.
up there. Yeah, not my favorite striker either. This guy's lying.
Look, obviously Danny Olmo's been fantastic. He's leading right now, goals and assists. Got the demons on the wings. This is a very different Spanish team to what the famous Spanish teams of the late 2000s and early 2010s. Like, this is a different team. This isn't the same Tiki Taka team. They could be direct if they want to. Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams are 1v1 demons on the wings. They're not afraid to take on their man, use their speed, use their explosiveness to beat the men on the dribble, and then make things happen. You have Morata, who is more of a traditional number 9, a big guy who likes to win headers. And then you have Dani Olmo, who's probably the most Spanish player of all of them, being a number 10, very versatile, can score goals, can pass, can do everything. So, this isn't the Spain team that we've probably come to expect from their golden era.
Yeah, the Spain team doesn't have the same names that the previous Spain had. We know where you were walking out with Xabi Alonso, Fabregas, Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa, and all those guys. There's a few players that do have the name, but most of these guys, they fly under the radar. They're young superstars up and coming. They're not like there yet. They're not at that level. And like you said, the previous Spain teams were, possession first. They would pass you to death by 1,000 cuts, and just pass it around. But I feel like this Spanish team is more direct, and it's possession with a purpose. They get the ball. Their main attack comes from the wings, and Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. They get the ball. They turn. They're very aggressive. They're looking to go 1v1. They're barely, just sitting on top of the ball, holding it and doing nothing. They're always constantly moving with the ball or moving without the ball to create space. Just to give you a quick stat, they're actually, Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams are second and third in expected assists in the tournament, only behind Cody Gakpo. They're both sitting at 1.8, and Gakpo is sitting on 1.9. So obviously they're creating a ton of chances. Very aggressive. And, further praise for Lamine. He's actually tied with Christian Eriksen for the most chances created, 16. And big chances created, he's actually tied with the whole England squad with 6.
So he has as many chances created as he does years on this earth.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Look, we've been talking about Lamine Yamal a lot. What do you think of his opposite? His mirror, Nico Williams.
Like I said, Nico Williams, very, very, very similar in the aspect that
Linked highly with Barca, by the way.
Yeah, hopefully he's a Barca boy in about a month or within a month's time.
Seems like he's boys with Lamine Yamal, so maybe agent Lamine.
He's boys with everybody. Pedri, Ferran.
Lamine might have to get an agent fee for that.
But he's very direct, aggressive, likes to go one-on-one. He's older than Lamine. He's 21, so he does have like a more developed physical body. So he has like stronger physical attributes.
Yeah, I feel like he's more powerful on the dribble.
Yeah, he has like a bigger frame, and he's just a stronger person. He won't get pushed off the ball as much if he takes a bad touch, but he does have pace similar to Lamine. They're both very pacey, and I don't think he has too many wasteful touches. He doesn't really get the ball and do all sorts of stuff where like the player can kind of cut out and be more direct. He's very direct and doesn't waste too much time when he has the ball at his feet. It's always a purpose.
I feel like he's more of a shooter than Yamal too. Yamal's like more. I mean, Yamal could do everything. Obviously, as we know, we saw that shot. But like, I feel like Nico is more of like a shooter. Like he's almost more like a wide forward than he is, like a traditional winger.
Yeah, I could see that. I think Nico is also very, to an extent, he's probably a very simple winger, whereas he does have creativity, but not to the extent that Lamine has, where Lamine is very creative with the ball at his feet, always looking to probe the defense. He does have a signature move already at the age of 16 where he drops the right shoulder, goes left, puts in that floating cross.
He loves that chip ball back post.
So he does have that signature move, but yeah, he's more of Lamine likes to I guess probe more, whereas Nico is turn and go and just very purposeful dribbling.
Well, enough about Spain. We got to talk about the boys. England.
Your boys.
It's coming home. England, obviously, as we know, have been very disappointing this tournament, but they did have a great game against the Netherlands. They woke up, they went down early, and I think going down early actually helped England against the Netherlands, where they went down 1-0. By the way, Pickford, terrible. He should have saved that. Courtois gets two hands and catches that ball. So Pickford, terrible. Definitely a savable goal from Xavi Simon's shot. So that's definitely a weakness we're going to talk about for England in goal. They lined up a little bit differently against the Netherlands. It looks like, at least according to what FootMob is telling me, they lined up in a 3-4-3 where Saka was more of like a hybrid wing back, wide forward, where he can kind of connect more. And it seemed to work. I mean, this was probably England's best game.
Not probably. I think it definitely was.
Definitely. You know, they were forced to attack. They couldn't be cautious anymore like they have been all tournament with their Haram ball. They had to attack because they're down. And so we saw the best of them. I still think that there's a lot of guys on this team on fraud watch. Like Jude Bellingham, by the way.
You're gonna get hate. You're gonna have the Madrid fanboys.
Listen, the Jude Bellingham PR is crazy because he's not impressed me this tournament. Aside from that bomb bicycle kick that he showed, was the worst bicycle kick I've ever seen, by the way, against Slovakia. Other than that, he hasn't done anything. He was definitely on fraud watch this game. Foden was probably the best of the bunch. Saka was on fraud watch this game. He has to be bailed out by my boy Cole Palmer. He gets in, he makes things happen. He doesn't need a lot of time. And then Ollie Watkins with a big finish because Kane was ghosting in this game too. I don't care that he scored a pen. Look, the England fans have been complaining a lot about Harry Kane on Twitter.
By the way, before you continue, pen or not?
I can see it going both ways. I looked at it. I can see why it's called. I can see why it's not called. So it's a 50-50 call for me. I don't see why the Netherlands fans are like, oh, we were robbed. I don't think it was a robbery.
Yeah, I could see it being 50-50 as well. You know, he is contesting the shot. The shot's gone, but then again, there is that contact with his foot kind of high, and it's a little dangerous. So it's very 50-50. It's depending on how you interpret it.
Look, if it was called a pen, I can't complain too much. Definitely no robbery of the Netherlands. So I can move on from that. Harry Kane scores the penalty. He somehow has fluked his way to 3 goals in this tournament, even though it seems like a lot of people are unhappy with his overall play. He hasn't played that well. Ollie Watkins had to come in and do the job. Great finish, by the way, from Ollie Watkins. I mean, fantastic through ball by Cole Palmer. But Ollie Watkins, great shot, tight angle. Ollie Watkins, he's a good player. He had a good season in the Premier League. Well taken goal. So I was happy for it. I was pretty hyped when I saw the goal. Once I saw that it was a Cole Palmer assist. But look, Saka has not had a great tournament. This was probably Saka's best game, but that's not saying much. Kieran Trippier, who we spoke about in the earlier pod, in regards to like the tournament and stuff. He was half injured. He wasn't really fit. He had to come off at halftime. Luke Shaw came in, who's not very fit, but he's just coming back into fitness. He looked good. Luke Shaw did look good. And that's going to be big for England. But I don't know. I mean, Kobe Manu had a good game. Declan Rice slipped, and that's what caused the first goal. I see midfield and defense as a weakness for this England team, and then also their offense is not firing right now.
Yeah, I feel like the attack has been kind of weak the whole tournament, aside from the game against the Netherlands, where Phil Foden really found himself and was just all over the place in the first half. having shots, being he had a shot cleared off the goal line by who was it? Not Memphis. Dumfries.
Yeah.
Dumfries cleared the ball off the line. He hit the woodwork too. Foden was flying against the Netherlands, but he was missing in the previous in the group stage games and the earlier knockout rounds. And Saka had a good game. Still not great, but better performance than his recent performances in the tournament. And Kane's just been getting by, I guess. That's the best way to put it.
I mean, look, it's a very interesting thing to talk about with, like, I guess the formation. I have a feeling they'll probably set up the same way that they did in this game, like in that 3-4-3. So, what'll likely happen, I'm going to assume he's going to start Shaw now as the left wing back / left back. So you're going to have, like, Shaw and Mark Guehi on one side and then Saka and Walker on the other side. This is going to be interesting. Their matchup against Lamine Yamal and then
Nico Williams.
I mean, Lamine Yamal versus Luke Shaw, who's barely fit. What do you think? How do you think that's going to go?
Well, depending on who they start, either an out of position hurt Trippier or a out of shape Shaw. I mean, Lamine's been flying, so he might. That's going to be one of the biggest matchups of the game, and if he has his way with either one of those left backs, it's going to be a long night. But it's going to be a huge matchup. I don't know how England's going to try and help plug that problem and fix it, because if you just leave Lamine one-on-one with a defender, he's gonna have his way eventually, and it's gonna be a lot of problems. He's gonna be dribbling into the box, finding players roaming around the 18 or at the top of the box. Just if he's not scoring, he'll be creating chances for others. That's gonna be 100% what happens if you leave him one-on-one alone the whole game.
No, I 100% agree. And honestly, I think overall, I think that the natural thing to just think about now is, like, what parts of each team can be exploited. And I think we just kind of spoke about it. We spoke about that left side for England. I mean, you could probably argue the right side too. Kyle Walker, he's still a good player, but he's getting up there in age. Bukayo Saka, I know that he can defend well. I think he's played better at right wing back than he has at forward. I think Ian Wright might have been right. I think the Arsenal fans might Arsenal fans being ridiculous. That's normal. He's had his best games at wingback.
I mean, you're just doing that to bait the Arsenal listeners.
Look, a lot of that front three is on fraud watch. Even Foden is on fraud watch. They're all on fraud watch.
But like you said, that's another interesting matchup, the Nico Williams matchup. Spain's main attack this tournament has been off the wings, feasting off of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. And Nico Williams, he had a tough matchup in the semifinal against France, going up against Jules Koundé, who had a great season at right back with Barca and had a great tournament with France.
Torched.
Like, absolutely great tournament. But Nico Williams still did not shy away, was aggressive once he got the ball, and had the same kind of play style and didn't, like, back down or, in a sense, respect his competition too much, where you see that sometimes and players, get off their game. He kept the same game style and was going at it with Koundé one-on-one, and whoever won the battle. But I'm expecting the same thing. I'm not expecting him to shy away from going at Kyle Walker, despite Kyle Walker being very, very pacey despite his old age. So I think you should expect the same thing from the wingers, and Nico Williams definitely to be running at the defense.
Yeah, I mean, look, even Lamine Yamal, I think Teo Hernandez still having nightmares about him. I mean, Lamine made Teo look like the bad defender that he is. I think he's going to be a handful for Shaw and Guehi, who I think is one of the weaker spots in that England backline for sure. But what do you think about this midfield? Declan Rice and Kobe Mainu likely to start versus Fabian Ruiz and Rodri. Who wins that midfield battle?
The midfield battle is going to be a very interesting matchup. I think personally, I think it's the two best CDMs in Rodri and Rice going at it. Rodri's like a one-man just bossing the midfield. And then Fabian Ruiz and Dani Olmo running around him. And I think the English midfield is also just great with Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Mino has been having the tournament of his life. Really stepped up at such a young age too. So that's going to be very interesting because Bellingham, I don't know, he just always finds a way to get things done. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup, and I think that's like a very 50-50 matchup. I could see it going either way in that sense.
That Madrid PR on Bellingham is crazy. I still don't. I'm not moved. I'm not moved anymore. Now that I'm getting a chance to see him more, I don't know, man. The Madrid PR is undefeated, but I think there's better players out there than Bellingham. But I'm not gonna go too far into that. I agree. I can see this being crucial, and I don't know. I feel like England could win the physical battle in the midfield, but Spain has technicians. And obviously Rodri is no slouch physically either. So I'm going to give the edge to England just on the physical side. I think what really is going to be big is I think, and I've thought about this more. I know we kind of briefly spoke about this earlier, but thought about this more now. I think what really is going to bring this England team down is their attack.
You think so?
I think it's been so quiet that's going to be the weakness that brings them down, because if they can't score goals against the Spain team,
Well, listen, Spain has given up a goal in each of the knockout games they played. One against Georgia, one against Germany, and one against France. So I do expect England to get on the board. I'm not like too worried about that. I don't think they're going to go back to playing how they were at the start of the tournament. I think the last game they played against the Netherlands is like a good glimpse of what we should be expecting in the attack for England. So I do expect them to score. But I think they're going to just have to keep up with this Spain attack. I think Spain is just relentless in the attack, and they're going for a few goals. So I think they're just going to have to keep up, and I'm not sure if they're up for the task. Because now Spain gets 2 defenders back off of the yellow card suspension for this game, one of them being a notorious winner, hate to say it, from Real Madrid, Carvajal, at right back, and Lenormand.
He's going to come in for who?
Nacho. He was okay. The center back pairing with Laporte before the suspension. But then again, you could keep Nacho in. He plays fine. He holds his own. And again, a Real Madrid notorious winner has won it all, basically.
Those Real Madrid players are winners, aren't they?
They are, unfortunately.
But I don't know. I'm going back and forth. I still think England's gonna win, but they really got to get it together against Spain. I mean, what are you thinking for scoreline? What's your scoreline prediction?
My scoreline prediction is it's gonna be high scoring. There's gonna be goals on both sides, so I think it's gonna be 3-2 Spain. I think Foden is going to have a solid game creative like he did against the Netherlands. But I just don't think this England team will be able to keep up with the Spanish attack. I think it's going to be too much to handle. And I think Spain and Rodri will be able to at least limit the damage that's going to be coming from the English attack.
There's going to be goals, especially with Pickford in there. I mean, the English Kepa, T-Rex arms. He's just a short goalie. He's not a good goalie. He's 30. He's not that young. He still plays for Everton. He's not going anywhere. He's not a good goalie. Not that Spain has a great goalie either, like Unai Simon. He's not great, but I think he's probably better than Pickford.
I mean, I don't rate Pickford. I think everybody's better than Pickford.
He's okay with his feet, I guess, but then you're not getting much else with him. He's not good, obviously, aerially because he's not that tall. Morata's big in the air. So Morata can cause you issues. It's the one thing that Morata's good at is heading the ball. So there's gonna be some issues there. I mean, I can see there being goals. I agree. I think it's gonna be 2-1 to England. I think it's gonna be 2-1. I think Lamine gonna score a goal. Yeah, that's what I think. I think Foden is gonna open the scoring, and Kane is gonna win it with a penalty.
Oh man. Oh man, what a prediction!
in normal time.
I do have a question though.
What's that?
He's been playing well the whole tournament. He's been the super sub for England. Why doesn't Cole Palmer start? Do you think that might hurt them?
Because Gareth Southgate is a fraud. This guy, Cole Palmer should be starting. I mean,
every time he's come on late, he's just had such an impact. England scoring, creating chances.
I agree.
Being on the front foot, and it's been like in 10, 15-minute windows because that's really all he had to work with outside of, the extra time game.
And he makes things happen no matter what. He scored his penalty too. He's cold. He's got ice in his veins. He's a great player. He deserves to be starting, but Gareth Southgate, he's a bum. I mean, it seems like England is happy with him there. It looks like, according to Matt Law of the Telegraph, he's also a Chelsea journalist as well, but right now he's at the Euros covering England. Apparently, England are happy with Southgate no matter what happens. Whether they win or lose the final, they're going to keep him. That's crazy to me. That's wild. But, he does things like this where he's not starting Palmer. There's other guys who deserve to be starting who are not starting, or other guys who deserve to be called up who didn't get called up. So Southgate is ridiculous. But you know what? If he wins the Euros, fair play, right? I mean, he still is one of the most talented teams, so he should be winning anyway. But I don't know. It's frustrating. It's definitely frustrating for Cole. But would you say is there anything else that you're looking forward to seeing in this match? Any matchups? Any surprises that you're looking out for? Maybe.
I think I touched on the main matchups that I wanted to see. I think it comes off of Spain's wings, and I guess how impactful Foden can be, and really spark up the English attack. Maybe create some chances for Bellingham, running late into the attacking third, or running late into the box. Harry Kane, or even Saka. I think Foden is going to be the guy that unlocks the attack for England.
I'm just hoping for an entertaining game. I think we're in for an entertaining game here. I'm excited to watch it. I mean, this Euros went by quick. It went by real quick.
Yeah, it was very fast.
I feel like we just recorded the opening episode for our previews and predictions just for the group stage. So this is pretty crazy. I mean, do you have any other closing thoughts on this finals matchup?
No other closing thoughts aside from just expect a lot of goals.
It's going to be a good game. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to watch it. I just want to remind you guys, we love you guys. You're part of the community, the Linebreaker community. It's been crazy seeing our numbers, jump. So please keep commenting, liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube. Follow us on the socials on Twitter at @the_Linebreaker, or you can follow Juicy and I on Pano_footy on Twitter, and Juicy is Juicy_footy. So follow us. We're tweeting all the time. We're on the prowl. We're doing our thing on Twitter. And of course, make sure to follow us and have automatic downloads on your podcast apps. Leave those 5-star reviews. They mean a lot to us. And the more 5-star reviews we have, the more the podcast gets pushed to people like you guys. So please, keep doing that. We're here for a cool journey, just making these podcasts. So we really appreciate you guys, and we're looking forward to putting out more content. So other than that, my name is Pano.
I'm Dimitri, aka Juicy.
And we're out of here.